Right, welcoming you to Cardio Flow. And we're here with a group of Walden friends from across the world, including Germany today. So we're so glad you're here and ready to get your body moving to fight fatigue and to learn movements that might help your experience with peripheral neuropathy. Last week, we played with weaving in some of our peripheral neuropathy exercise we learned from Nancy in our webinar. And that helped us focus on getting the blood flowing to outer extremities, like hands and lower limbs. And we worked on also strengthening those areas with the idea of managing the symptom of peripheral neuropathy. Today, we're going to work with those similar movements, but we're also going to play a little more with movements that are about overall coordination, overall proprioception, to help with balance and just to really get our bodies moving to fight that fatigue. So we're going to start right away here by bringing the hands out to the sides. And bringing the hands out to the sides, opening up the fingers as wide as you can. And you're going to take a big breath in. As you exhale, you're going to bring the hands in front and show me your fingers and make a fist and roll the knuckles down. So I'm opening, spreading my fingers and bringing the arms out to the sides. Breath in. Exhale, arms in front. Knuckles down. Good. Breathing in, opening wide, just getting the blood flowing here a little bit. Exhale, fist is wrapping down. And let's do 2 more of those. Breathing in, breathing out, curling those fists down. And 1 more big open. And this time we're going to come in, we're going to give ourselves a hug. And this can help stretch the upper back. And I might even tuck my chin down and take a couple breaths here. What is my why? What is my reason for doing this class today? Why do I want to be here? It's maybe asking yourself that question. And that can help form a motivational intention for you. All right, so let's go ahead and do a little bit more of the handwork that we learned from Nancy. So got my hands straight up and I'm going to press 1 finger at a time as strong as I can to my thumb. And I'm moving out to the first finger and moving all the way to the pinky, and I'm pressing and holding for like 2 or 3 seconds on each finger. So we're going to do 1 more set of those, pressing. Some of us experience really debilitating peripheral neuropathy in our hands or fingers, and this might not be possible. So doing what you can do, and now just roll the wrists. And as we move through our session today, if there's something that your body is saying no to, you can skip it. And you can also just imagine, use your mind's eye to imagine doing it rather than actually doing it if you feel like it's too effortful. All right. Now I'm going to bring just my right arm out to the right. I'm holding up an imaginary wall, and I'll bring my left ear to my left shoulder. So I'm getting a little stretch here, and I'm just going to circle my palm. Easy breaths. Can you let go of that left shoulder a little bit? And the palm can move down little by little. Little by little by little. And we're tucking the arm behind the back or resting it on the hip. See how this feels for you. Just getting warmed up as I spin my chin down. So I'm peeking down at my left shoulder. You got it. Both shoulders are relaxing. And I'm taking a breath in, breath out, and returning to center and doing that on the other side with that left arm out to the left and tilting the right ear to my right shoulder and circling my palm. That's good. Finding what feels good for me and my body today. That palm can move down little by little. And I'm going to tuck that arm behind my back and peek down at my right shoulder, both shoulders, relaxing, letting go. All right, and then we're coming back up and we're going to do one quick exercise that we did in our chair yoga class this week. It's a peripheral vision exercise. And for those of us who have diminished feeling in the legs and the limbs, and we're impacted, our balance is impacted because of that, we're looking at adding anything we can to help us balance better. And using our vision, using our peripheral vision is a great way to do it. And I learned it is also a calming thing that you can do. So just polling the live group, how many of you have ever experienced tunnel vision? Maybe it was on the way to fainting. I don't really want to trigger any anxiety here, but maybe it was as a result of stress. Tunnel vision. Yes, a few hands going up. So the opposite of tunnel vision is peripheral vision, right? And I'm nice and relaxed when I'm in my peripheral vision. I can see everything around me. So let's practice that. I'm going to bring my arms straight out in front, and I'm going to pick a spot far away that's sort of at the center point of my vision. So I'm not going to look at the monitor. I'm going to find something even farther. And I'm going to slowly move my hands out to the sides. And I'm going to see if I can just notice my hands at the edge of my vision and notice where I stop being able to see my hands. And when I stop being able to see my hands with my peripheral vision, I'm going to come back in. And I'm just kind of like creating my field of vision here, noticing where it ends, where it begins, and just turning on this peripheral vision. Right? So softening my gaze so I can take in everything around me. And then I might just rest my hands in my lap and take a breath or two with this new abundance of presence and, vision around me. Okay, so we're going to use that a little bit later throughout our class as well, but I just wanted to show you now. Let's get a little bit of movement into the biceps. I'm going to pretend that I'm holding weights. If you have weights and you want to use weights, by all means, but I'm contracting my bicep muscle here. So I've got one at a time. You could do both at the same time if that is your preference, right? If you've been watching Sharon's strength training video and you're used to doing it a certain way, both at the same time, you could do that. Right? There's no pressure to add weights to this. And we will be having Sharon back later in February. She's going to be doing a strength and balance training class. So lucky because she's actually undergoing treatment as we speak. So we're sending good thoughts to Sharon today. All right, so that was my sort of set of bicep movements. And now I want to get into some whole body movements. So I'm going to, if you're really into the strength training and you want to do another set of bicep curls, go for it. I'm going to do a whole body movement here. So I'm just going to walk in place. I'm still sitting. And I've got opposite arm, opposite leg, getting the blood moving, getting the lymph fluid moving. Can you guys hear me okay? I had to use a different audio. If you need to turn up your audio, please do. If for whatever reason you can't hear me, you can like wave your arms around and I'll see you, okay? If somebody wants to give me a thumbs up, that would be heartening. Okay, thank you. Walking in place. Nice whole body movements. Okay, I'm stopping for a moment. I'm grabbing onto my chair. I'm going to step my right foot out. I'm at the edge of my chair. Step my left foot out. And then I'm walking my feet back in. Stepping my feet out. Walking my feet in. Breathing. Trying to keep my core nice and stable. Finding my breath. Walking in, walking out. And then the next time you walk in, you can stay there. And we're gonna stretch the right leg out with the heel on the earth. I'm sitting up away from the back of my chair, so I'm getting a little extra core work just sitting here. I'm gonna pump my foot down and up. So doing our foot pumps, something that we have done since the beginning of all of our classes, but it's so nice to have validation from our experts at Dana-Farber, talking about foot pumps being good for our peripheral neuropathy. Okay, welcoming you, Catherine. So nice to see you. We're just pumping the right foot, and then we're going to switch it up. Right, that left foot heel is on the earth, and we're pumping it down and up as far as you can go in either direction. And it's also a good thing to do before you get out of bed, because that first thing that hits the ground is the foot. We want to bring some blood flow into the lower limbs. All right, beautiful. Now I'm coming back. I'm going to walk my feet out and walk my feet in. Walk my feet out, walk my feet in. I'm breathing. Maybe I could exhale out of my mouth if that would feel better, if I start to get, my blood pumping. And then we're coming back to center, and we're going to bring our arms straight out in front. So now we're kind of putting on a little bit of a challenge for you here. So I'm going to I've got my elbows bent and my knuckles are pointed towards the ceiling, right? So here we are. I just got my hands just like this, and I'm going to be walking my elbows out and walking them in, walking them out and walking them in at my own pace. All right, so you kind of get the feeling of that. And now we're going to do something that's going to just blow your mind for coordination. You're going to have to use a part of your brain that's really good for coordination and proprioception. So I'm going to try to step my right foot out as I bring my left elbow out. And then the opposite. Okay, opposites walking in, opposites walking out. Try to soften your gaze, right? And find that peripheral vision. It can help you relax. Have fun. Breathe. Walking in and out. Whole body movement. All right. And now I'm going to change it up a little bit. Don't think too much. I'm going to change it up to it a little bit and just try to bring my elbow towards my knee. Elbow towards my knee. Opposite elbow, opposite knee. Breathing. You got it. It doesn't have to touch. Mine's not touching. What is my why here today? My why might be to help with my fatigue. And so this just getting my body moving is a great thing I can do. My goal might be to not be alone today. So I'm here, I'm looking at my thumbnails on my screen, and I'm feeling that our whole community is working together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Release the hands down. Let's take some breaths together. That's good. And I'll bring my legs back apart a little bit and circle my torso. Just easy torso circles, warming up the spine, moving in one direction. That's really good, Judy. Feeling you there in your kitchen today. Moving in one direction, and then we can circle back in the other direction. Feel my feet on the earth, my seat in my chair. And I'm just going with the flow, letting it unfold for one more time. Coming back to center and opening my arms out to the sides. My elbows are bent like a goalpost. And I'm going to squeeze my arms together. See if I could press my forearms together. So there's some resistance there. I'm opening and the elbows are coming back. And as I exhale, maybe I'm closing, pushing the forearms together, moving at my own pace. 3 more. Got it, Greg. Breathing as you move. Moving at your own pace. For 1 more. All right, and then I'm interlacing my fingers and I'm going to press my palms away, juice up my fingers. See how that feels for you? And then maybe, just maybe, my arms are going to lift overhead as far as feels safe. Kiss the ceiling with your palms. And I might flow from side to side just a little bit. Little bit goes a long way. I'm still rooting down through my seat. And then I'll come back and I'll just grab onto my chair behind me. And my goal is to open up my chest here. So I'm gonna see if I could squeeze my shoulder blades together, lift my heart, and take one really nice deep breath. And then let it go and let the arms dangle. All right, another whole body movement that I love here that's helpful for me, trying to improve my balance and trying to improve my coordination, is I'm going to lift both arms up and one leg and then release it down. Both arms up and the other leg and releasing it down. I'm keeping my knee bent. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out, and this is what I call a tuning fork. This is my tuning fork. I'm grounding through that one foot that's down, and I'm reaching up with both hands. Whole body movement. You can modify it, right? If you've got arm issues today and you want to just do the leg portion, that would be totally fine. Let's do 1 more on each side. All right, and then I'm opening up my stance again, and I'm bringing that right arm up, and I'm leaning to the left. Really big side bend here. Come back to the center and switch it up. Left arm lift, up and over, big side bend. And you could do a couple more on each side and just go at your own pace. Do what you can, right? That's what one of our friends was talking about. She sent me an email. She was saying she's really enjoying focusing on what her body can do. Coming from a place of, trying not to focus on what she can't do. So we're celebrating that. What I can do today. And I'm going to give myself another big hug and stretch out the upper back a little bit here. Tucking my chin, big breath in. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and walk those feet back. And I'm going to prepare to stand. So I'm going to do a few things before I do that. I'm going to turn on my peripheral vision, especially as it relates to the floor. So I'm going to notice where my peripheral vision ends and begins at the bottom of my field of vision. Is there anything on the floor that I could trip over? So I'm noticing that. And then I'm going to slowly come up just a little bit and then come right back down. So I'm working on a little squat practice movement. And if you have bad knees, I shouldn't say bad, if you're caring for knee issues, maybe you skip this one and you come to stand in one fell swoop, right? I don't want to put too much pressure on those knee joints. Which muscles are you using? Could you really turn on your glute muscles here? That's good. And I'm going to do maybe one more and come up. And I'm going to come up and give myself a little break. I'm going to take a sip of water. And there is always the option to stay seated, my friends. You do not have to come to stands. If you're feeling, especially if you're feeling like it's a red light day, we're talking about that with Nancy. You know, ways to measure what your energy level is like. If it's a red light day and you need to stay seated, you can stay seated. I'm going to come to focus on my feet, whether I'm seated or standing, and I'm going to ask myself to lift up onto my tiptoes and float my way back down. Maybe I could lift one arm as I do this, breathing in, breathing out, pushing down through my big toe, releasing down. And again, I still have that peripheral vision on. So I could find a place to gaze far away, focus on that, and let everything relax around that point. Can you do 5 more tiptoe floats with me, maybe as both arms? Maybe you want to explore what it would feel like to take your hand off the chair. The chair is there if you need it. You could move more quickly, you could move more slowly than I am. For 2 more, you got it, Nancy. Seeing if you could keep that big toe involved. All right, awesome. Just gonna walk it out. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Taking a walk, taking a Walden walk with my Walden friends. Breathing. All right, now we're going to get into using some muscles that we use to get up and down. And these are my glute muscles. So I'm going to kind of make the shape of a chair with my body. I'm going to bend into my knees, and then I'll bring my hips back. And I'm going to turn my glutes on by pressing my feet apart isometrically. So I'm really working hard here. And then I'm going to come up. So you could keep your hands on your thighs and then just come up and then sink back down, right? Option to bring more arm motion into it, right? If you prefer, you could bring the arms at the sides and you could lift the arms up. So those are some options for you. We're doing what I'm calling chair pulses. Finding your breath. Imagine you're getting your energy up with this. Swooping those arms up if you're using your arms. Let's do 2 more. You're doing great. And last one, best one yet. All right. I'm going to walk in place a little bit of walking in place. Or maybe I'm walking around my room. Maybe I'm having a little fun with the way I'm moving right now and not taking myself too seriously, right? Want to have fun. I want to play. Why am I here? Is part of it to have fun? I hope so. Okay, now I'm just sounding like the cuckoo brain on a Friday. Let's go ahead and try our lunges. Okay, so I'm going to bring my right foot forward and my left foot back. Today, all 10 toes are going to be pointing the same direction. So if you feel like you're walking on a wire and it's very unstable, walk the right foot to the right. And I'm going to be trying to anchor down through my back heel. I'm bending and straightening my right knee. That's all I'm doing to start. Bending and straightening my right knee and trying to keep that left heel down. Hands can be wherever you like. All right, now we're going to stay with that bent knee, and I'm going to push up through my left toes and lift And I'm gonna do a few foot pumps this way, where I'm really getting an amazing calf strengthening. And if this feels like not doable for you, don't do it. Something a little different, Joyce, we've got it, right? It's a little bit different. Okay, now let's go ahead and just shorten the stance. I still have my right foot forward. Both legs are straight. I'm gonna take a bow because that was hard. Taking a bow, and I might get a little stretch to the back of my right leg. Finding some breaths here. So I find it's really important to weave in some counter poses, counter exercises, so we're not just doing. We have a moment to pause, a moment to stretch. All right, and then we're gonna walk ourselves up. And now for some balance fun. All right, this one's going out to bed again. I'm gonna put my weight in my right foot, and I'm gonna lift up my left leg. And I'm gonna see how it would feel to reach my right arm out in front. And I'm gonna do a series of these. So I'm bringing it down and lifting opposite arm, opposite leg up. Just a little bit, it could be just a little bit. Feeling that center, that core of me. And I might do a total of 5 of these. Kind of like a bird dog in motion here. Awesome, guys. And let's do all of that on the other side. So I've got my left foot forward and my right foot back, all 10 toes pointing in the same direction. If you feel wobbly, walk the left foot to the left. And I'm bending and straightening into my left knee while I try to keep my right heel glued down. Doing a few of these, just bending. And then I'm going to keep my left knee bent. And I'm gonna lift my left heel up and push into my left toe. Not quite there yet, Joyce. Right, so I'm pushing the floor away with my right toe. I know I really love that one too. So I'm just really getting a workout for my calf here, pushing into the toe, lifting that right heel a few times. All right, thank you for bearing with me there. Let's straighten both legs and shorten the stance a little bit and take another bow. Take a moment to integrate all of that into the body. Take a moment to breathe, stretch the left leg. Got it. Pull the belly towards the spine if you like. And then here we are, we're ready for some bird dog. I'm gonna walk my hands up and put some weight into my left foot. I'm kicking my right leg up and lifting my left arm out, maybe, if I feel safe doing so. And then putting it back down. So I'm doing a series of opposite arm, opposite leg lifts, staying on the same side, right? Right leg, left arm, whole body movement. Could you do one more? You got it. And now I'm going to take both feet back and just stretch my whole back of my body. Keeping my head lifted if I have glaucoma, right? Or I have vertigo or whatever reasons. Or maybe looking down at the floor and taking some breaths here. When I'm ready to come up, I will. And I could, again, I could take a moment to refresh with a little hydration. All right, guys are doing great. There's so much fun in these classes with you, honestly. So I'm gonna march in place a little bit more. And then if I feel like I wanna ramp it up one setting, one notch, I might try that opposite arm cross crawl that we did while we were seated. Moving one knee towards one elbow. Doesn't have to look pretty. There's a little bit of a crunch, twisting going on, but just a little bit. I'm trying to keep my spine pretty straight with this. Because the last thing in the world I want to do is bend and twist at the same time. Especially for those of us with osteoporosis. Okay, a little bit more goes a long way. Now I feel like we really have the blood flowing to the whole body. So I've got the blood flowing to the whole body, and I'm ready to turn on my peripheral vision again. So we're gonna do some standing balance exercises here. We're gonna roll out our imaginary balance beams. But first, I'm just gonna stand, and I'm gonna bring my hands down in the lower edge of my vision and see where they disappear. So I'm playing around with defining my field of vision. And I might keep my hands where I can kind of see them and start to walk on my balance beam, heel to toe. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm sort of relaxedly doing this. If I felt safe doing so, I could walk backwards. Right, I've got my hands sort of framing my field of vision. And I might try something else if that field of vision stuff isn't working for me. Maybe there's a place to gaze far away. It'd be better to focus on one spot. Walking forward, walking back, maybe one more time. And I'm so used to doing all this kind of stuff in bare feet. It feels hard to do it in shoes. And that might be opposite for you. All right, you guys, great job. If you feel tired, you can always sit. Now I want to add a standing leg balance that is more dynamic. So remember the seated tuning forks we did. I'm going to try that standing. So I'm lifting both arms and one leg and putting that leg right back down. Both legs, both arms, other leg. Can you imagine lifting both legs? No. So one leg, both arms, tuning in with my surroundings, rooting down with my standing leg. The slower I go, the harder it is for my balance. Maybe I want to hold for one breath. I felt safe doing so. We're going to do one more on each side, and we're almost ready to wind down. All right, taking a wide stance here, circling the hips. Little mini break from those tuning forks, because those are pretty hard. Coming back the other direction. All right, and then I'm going to turn my toes out to the sides just a little bit. I can hold on to my chair if I need it. If I have knee issues, I might keep my toes pointing straight forward. I'm going to sink down into my knees and bring my arms out to the sides, like that cactus we were doing before. And now I'm going to straighten everything and reach up to the right. Sink down, bending the knees. Reach both arms up to the left. And sink down. So you can see I'm sinking down. And as I reach up, I'm coming up to the right. Sinking down, coming up to the left. Exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Last one. Really nice, guys. And now I'm coming out of that, and I'm going to hold onto my chair for this next one. Almost there. So one thing that Nancy showed us I really liked, I'm going to start to incorporate more of these, are the side leg sweeps. So I'm going to start with the weight in my right foot, and I'm just going to lift my left leg up a little bit and sweep it out to the side and bring it back without putting it back down. right? So it's hovering. So I'm just lifting that leg out to the side, and there's a soft bend to my right knee, to my standing leg. I'm trying to keep myself centered. And maybe we could do one more and switch sides. So weight in the left foot, pick up the right leg, almost kind of lifting it up, hovering it, and then out to the side and back in, nice and slow, hovering that foot and breathing. So a total of 5 of these per side. It's great, you guys. And one last one, and we'll take a little restful stretch here before we sit. One last restful stretch. And then when you're ready, you can come up. And just like we practiced getting out of the chair, we're going to practice coming back down. Unless you just need to sit, go ahead, go for it. If you want to practice sitting down really, really slowly, turning on those glute muscles, pulling the belly towards the spine. Last one to sit wins. Just kidding, there is no winning. But it always brings out the inner competitor. All right, so a little bit of stretch. I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left knee. And I've got that ankle resting on the knee, but I could modify it if that feels too much. And I'm just going to soften my shoulders here. And if I want a little more sensation, I might reach the heart forward, lean forward, keeping the spine straight. And I'm taking a few breaths and just enjoying the sensation if I can. Coming back up to sit, we can cross that knee over. And we're taking a little twist to the right, peeking over the right shoulder. And I'm using my torso, my core muscles here to twist. I'm not yanking my spine with my hands. Slow travel back to center. And switch it up. Left ankle over the right knee or something like that. You could already be feeling a lot. Stay here if that's you, or you could reach heart forward. Soften where you can soften, right? There's no need to work harder than we really need to. By that, I mean, are you like me and you're constantly lifting your shoulders up by your ears? Yes, that's what I do. So I have to remind myself. And then we're sitting back up and crossing that knee over. And we're going to take a twist to the left. The twist is coming from my muscles. My chin is level with the earth. And I'm relaxing back to center and taking one more big stretch or making any other movements that I feel like my body might need. Anything else that maybe you feel like we didn't get to. And then we'll close our cardio flow class with a mindful moment. So this is especially important so that we can integrate everything we've just put our bodies through. So I'm going to come into a comfortable seat, and that might mean I actually shift to the back of the seat so I can feel the support behind me. I don't have to be in a super straight, posture right now. I can let myself relax a little bit. Letting myself relax, I could close my eyes. And I'm just going to do an internal sweep with my breath. I'm breathing up from my feet to the crown of my head and back down again. I'm noticing this vitality in my body. Taking 3 more easy breaths for yourself. And then if you want to come out of this gradually, you could palm the eyes with the hands. Take care of the eyes for a moment. Yeah, take those glasses off if you have glasses. If you feel like you want to massage the face, that's always an option. And just a nice way to transition back from our cardio flow space. So I want to thank you so much for taking care of yourself today. I learned so much through all of the feedback you give me and through our experts that we get to bring in. And I'm so excited because next week we have Rami Rohn is joining us, and he is a Tai Chi master. He's going to show us how to really experience the power of the mind-body connection through very soft flowing movements. I don't know much about Tai Chi. I haven't done it. I'm looking forward to learning and practicing with you. So that's Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Maybe a little bit late for you, Bettina, in Germany, but we'll have the recording. You can always do the recording. And if you're interested in that and you're not on the list, it's the last chance. I'm not going to be asking much more. I've already asked a lot. I appreciate your patience with the repetition, but if you'd like to get on that list, you can email me, anngrace@iwmf.com. So we will also have our regular chair yoga on Monday, but our first class with Rami is starting next week. So thank you so much, friends, and we'll see you soon.